I know. Let's play my alphabet game. Come on, everyone. The first letter in the alphabet is A, which sounds like ah. Now let me think of a word that begins with ah. Wait, I know. It's a word that describes all of you. Animals. Animals is a word that begins with ah. The game's really very easy, isn't it? The next letter in the alphabet is B, which sounds like ba. Ba is for, yes, I've got one. Bed. Do you remember when you all tried to squeeze into my bed to keep warm one snowy night? And ba is also for book. I love a good story. Oh, and I've just remembered the most important ba of all. Ba is for badger. After B comes C, which sounds like ka. Ka is for my coat, which keeps me warm. It's also for clock, which tells me what time it is. There's another ka, cup, and cocoa. The next letter is D, which sounds like duh. Duh is for some friends of ours. Ducks. Duh is for ducks. Duh is also for digging. You like digging, don't you, squirrel? You're always digging for nuts, even if it's in my garden. Let's see what's next. It's E, which sounds like eh. Let me think. I know, empty. Just like when my cup is empty after I finish my tea. And eh is also for echo. When you're in a tunnel and your voice goes like this, like this, like this. We now come to F, which sounds like there are lots of these growing in the park. See? Flowers. Flower begins with is also for falling. Whoa! 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 It is also for flying, just like the ducks. And one of you mice did some flying once too, didn't you? But it was more like floating, wasn't it? Ah, floating begins with two. Next is G, which sounds like G. G is for garden shed, where I keep all my gardening tools. It's a bit messy, but I could usually find what I need. Whoa. G is also for grass, which you see everywhere in the park. And G is also for gargle. And now H, which sounds like huh. Huh is for hat, which I wear on my head, even when I'm in bed. Huh is also for hut, which is where I live. Goodness me. Huh is also for you, hedgehog. Our next letter is I, which sounds like I. I know. I is for inside, Do you remember how all of you came inside my hut on that very snowy night? And I is also for insect. Butterflies are insects, like bees and beetles. Then there is J, which sounds like J. J is for jacket. Goodness, look what happened to my jacket when I hung it up outside the maze. And J is also for juggling. Don't drop them. The next letter is K, which sounds like K. What begins with K? Oh yes, kettle. I boil water in my kettle. And after K comes the letter L, which sounds like L. One word that begins with L is lion. There aren't any real lions in the park, but there's a stone lion seat in the maze. L is for ladder. When I'm cutting the hedges, I sometimes need my ladder. And L is also for leaf. Remember, squirrel, when you had a leaf stuck on your finger? The next letter is M, which sounds like M. I have lots of close friends beginning with M. M is for mouse. And of course, M is also for mole. Now we come to N, which sounds like N. I know one. N is for nest, which is where birds lay their eggs. And N is for noise. Do you remember that frightening noise under the floorboards? And N is also for the nose in the middle of my face. Our next letter is O, which sounds like O. I always take something beginning with an O on my picnics. O is for orange. And the letter that follows O is P, which sounds like Pa. I hope you all know whose name begins with Pa. Mine. Percy begins with Pa. In fact, plenty of words begin with Pa. Just listen to this. I'm Percy the park keeper, and I live in the park. And we're going on a picnic, which also begins with Pa. The next letter is Q, which sounds like Qua. Something on my bed begins with Qua. Qua is for quilt, which I sometimes have to share. And another word that begins with qua is quack, which of course is the sound that ducks make. And R is the next letter, which sounds like Ra. Lots of my friends' names begin with Ra. Rabbits. And of course, Robin begins with Ra. And Ra is also for run, something you all like to do. Next is S, which sounds like S. There's one of you animals that begins with S. Yes, it's you, squirrel. And what do you all like to eat when I'm having a picnic? My sandwiches. And sandwiches begins with S too. What else begins with S? I know. It's a word we all do when we're tired. We go to sleep. Sleep begins with S. Do you remember how everybody wanted to sleep in my bed that cold, snowy night? Oh, There's another S word. S is also for snow. Brr. T is the next letter, and T sounds like ta. This is an easy one. The park is full of things beginning with ta. Trees, of course. Oh, here's a good one. Ta is for something that most animals have, but I definitely don't. You all know that one, don't you? Ta is for tails. Oh, and I shouldn't forget your friend Toad, should I, Rabbit? Toad most definitely begins with ta. Then comes the letter U, which sounds like is for under. Remember when Mole came out from under the floorboards? And then I put Mole under the quilt. And up begins with a. Remember when the balloon took you mice up in the air and Squirrel went up in the tree? V is next, which sounds like va. I've got one. Va is for vase, which holds my flowers. Va is also for vegetable, which I like to plant, and which you like to keep digging up, don't you, Squirrel? Then comes W, which sounds like wa. Wa is for window. And wa is for well. Oh, remember when you fell in the well, Rabbit? And how could I forget? My trusty wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow begins with wa, too. The next letter is X. Oh, I'm stuck now. I can't think of anything that begins with X. But I can think of something that ends with X. You, Fox. The word fox ends with X. We're nearly at the end of the alphabet now. We only have 2 letters to go. The next letter is Y, which sounds like ya. Ah, yes, ya is for yaw. No, which is something we all do when we're tired. Ya is also for yacht. Now we've come to the very last letter, Z, which sounds like Z. Z is for, well, it's not for you, Squirrel, or you, Fox, or Mole, or Mice, Owl, Hedgehog, or you, Ducks. Z is for zebra, but I don't think you'll see a zebra in my park. Come on, everyone, let's go home. I hope you enjoyed my alphabet game.